Yeah, you guys sound so enthusiastic right now. You can tell it's a fucking Wednesday. It's called Hump Day because nobody gets laid, and that's why we're all so upset. Glad you guys like that one. I hated it when I came up with it. So before I get started on my actual set, I just wanted to ask you guys a question. By round of applause, how many of you have ever taken a longer route home just so you could avoid a school zone? Round of applause. Anybody ever do that? That's good. Like, I don't have a choice in the matter because one of the stipulations of my parole states that I can't be within 500 feet of a school, so at least you guys get a fucking choice in the matter. And now on to the actual funny parts of my set. You all are familiar with the idea of a trophy spouse, right? Yeah, for those of you who don't know about it, a trophy spouse is literally someone who gets money from their significant other to sit on their ass and just look pretty next to them in pictures. And I was thinking to myself, man, that job would be perfect for me. I could just be sitting at home playing video games, just reading comic books, being a total fucking nerd. But I'd be more like a participation trophy husband, like where it's just like, wow, congratulations, you got married, so did other people. Like, if we were rating me by Olympic medals, I wouldn't even be a bronze. I'd be like a copper, possibly an off-white. Like, it's just one of those things where it's like, wow, I didn't know you could win one of those things. Such a fucking shame. She deserves much better for being able to run for 50 meters, which is coincidentally how I am going to find my next girlfriend. I have a pretty fucked up sense of humor in case you guys can't tell. So So there's this one restaurant that I love going to. Maybe you guys are familiar with it. It's called Subs and Such. I love Subs and Such. I love their sandwiches. But I just realized something earlier today. You know how they have a sign in front that has like the daily specials on it? Well, the special they have for this day of the week is called Wrap It Wednesday. I'll repeat that because I think it bears repeating. Wrap It Wednesday. The only thought that went through my head was, wow, it's kind of ironic that on Hump Day they have an item that has Wrap It in it. Like, what's the one for Thursday? The morning after special? Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Okay is the right response. And now I'm going to get into the actual part of my set by starting off by saying that I work at a comic book shop. And honestly, next to Trophy Husband, it is the perfect job for me. Like, but there's some parts of it that I absolutely hate. And it has nothing to do with working at the shop itself. It's the fact that the comic book community is full of fucking retards. Here's an explanation of what I mean. We just had Free Comic Book Day this past Saturday. And it was really a great day, but there were a couple of things about it that just kind of pissed me off. The first one being that there was this book that came out called Secret Empire. Now, for those of you not fucking nerds, or for those of you who have a fucking social life, Secret Empire is all about how Captain America and a bunch of other heroes and villains are part of Hydra, which is the comic book equivalent of Nazis. And so a lot of people are pissed off about this because they love Captain America. Who doesn't love Captain America? And so to protest this book, they got the free comic book version and burnt it. They burned hundreds upon thousands of books. And it's kind of ironic to me in a couple of ways. The first one being, wow, you're going to protest a book that was originally free by burning it, thereby giving it monetary value and making people wonder, wow, what's so bad about this? I need to check that out. The book goes for $5 now, so good fucking job, guys. Whatever happened to, like, great protests? Like, we need a fucking civil rights march for comic books, that's all I'm saying. Yeah. And the other ironic part of it, at least to me, is just the idea that you're going to burn a book about Nazis. That's like burning Fahrenheit 451 in my opinion. It just makes no fucking sense to me. Like, yeah, I'm gonna burn this book that talks about how bad the Nazis are. Fuck you guys. And another thing that happened, this one irritated the shit out of me. There was a guy that came in, and we have at the store a copy of X-Men #1, the first ever X-Men ever written, signed by Stan Lee.
What?
And so, a guy came in and bought this. An hour later, he comes back and says, "Oh, I need to return this. I thought it was $14.50, not $1,450. And my immediate reaction was rage. I didn't say it out loud because customer service, you can't fucking say, "Dude, go fuck yourself, you're a fucking moron." But in my head I was thinking to myself, if you think that, unless you work at McDonald's, in which case you can say whatever the fuck you want. But my first thought was, if you think that a signed copy of the first ever X-Men book is selling for $15 and that nobody has bought it yet, you have inhaled way too much meth. Like, he's just straight up putting his fucking face in crystals and going, because that makes no sense to me. If you buy a Lamborghini, you don't drive off thinking that you bought a Honda Civic. That just doesn't fucking happen. He went to a comic shop and got the Holy Grail and was expecting red Solo Cup prices. That is fucking stupid. But I couldn't say any of that because customer service does not allow you to. I told that to one of my friends, and he said, "You know how you guys are wanting to start up like little events like Magic the Gathering Fridays, D&D Thursdays? You should set aside Tuesdays for complimentary math classes so people can understand what decimals mean." And now the last thing I want to talk to you guys about before I end with a little song for you is a revelation that just came out involving one of the greatest men who has ever walked into a four-cornered ring. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson just announced that there is a strong possibility he will run for president in 2020.
What?
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Now, I have two things that I have to say as a rebuttal to this. Number one, if you don't make Mick Foley your vice president, that way Rock and Sock Connection can have a formal reunion, I will be pissed. And second, and more importantly, I will only vote for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson if he makes Stone Cold Steve Austin his Secretary of State. Here's why. It is the job of the Secretary of State to go around to other countries and ask, "Hey, is everything cool? Are we alright, dude? Okay, cool. See you later." And nobody deserves that position more than the Texas Rattlesnake. He would just go to fucking North Korea, fucking can of beer in his hand, and say, "Hey, I heard y'all was talking about some missiles or shit." And even Dennis Rodman would be like, "Sorry, Kim, I gotta stay out of this. You deal with this yourself, motherfucker. I don't love you that much." He would go to the Middle East and talk to the representatives there and be like, "Okay, guys, it's time to get diplomatic up in here. Now, who wants to help me crack open this beer? Well, in our religion, we don't condone drinking." "Well, Austin 3:16 says you can kick my ass." And he just throws down the beer and starts giving everyone a stone cold stunner all around the room. That one representative will just be like, "I'm opening the beer, see?" And he's still gonna get plop, bam! Put that in your fucking Koran! And then walk out of the room. And I'll tell you this much, if Stone Cold Steve Austin was our Secretary of State, you wouldn't have to worry about a fucking scandal. Because people will come up to him and be like, "Sir, is it true that you deleted emails off of your personal account? Fuck yeah, I deleted emails on my personal account. I don't want you seeing that shit. Now, if you want to go talk to somebody, go fucking talk to our fucking chief executive bullshit artist, Iron Sheik, as the fucking press secretary. He'll tell you some shit, which I would absolutely love. Iron Sheik is the press secretary. If you've never heard Iron Sheik talk outside of a wrestling promo, you are missing out on the greatest thing you have ever heard in your life. Every word this man says is, oh, that motherfucker, I went up in his fucking ass and I just took it and, like, what the fuck? This guy, you can tell he was doing drugs in the 80s.
That's what they were doing.
Yeah, exactly. Which is another thing I can't wait for The Rock. Everyone would be a jabroni. Like, during the election, I can just imagine him going up and just being like, now I want to know from all of you, are you sick of these candy-ass guys in office? Well, then you need to get with the greatest WWE champion of all time if you smell what democracy is cooking. That concludes the comedic aspect of my performance tonight.